You know, that's the mentality of the loser. As David has tried to say to us this weekend, let's adopt the mentality of winners. I'll speak to anybody who'll hear me, and I'll associate with anybody I like because I'm a free man.
So you think you can beat me by outlawing my thoughts with your rogue politicians and the judges you bought? So you think you can mold me like I'm made out of clay? Oh, you want me to answer? Just got this to say. Take a look into this warrior's eyes. Tell me what you see. Take a look into this warrior's eyes. A heart that still beats free.
This is Paul Fromm for our people. Catch me every night on Stormfront Radio. I'm the Midnight Man. I come on at midnight Eastern Time every night on Stormfront. That's www.stormfront.org. On the front page, just click on to Stormfront Radio and catch my political commentaries every night on Stormfront Radio. Now, here's a topic they don't want to talk about very much: immigration. The plain fact is, they're changing our country. You never got a chance to vote on it. No political party ever presented you with alternatives. It was simply decided back in 1965 when the Pearson government changed our flag from the one you see behind me, the red ensign under which this country grew and was built, to the new flag. That year they also changed our immigration policy. We were no longer going to draw our immigrants from the traditional sources, the British Isles and Europe and the United States, but we were going to turn more and more to the third world. The immigration policy of this country is a deliberate plan to replace the European founding settler people that built this country. 85% of each year's immigration intake comes from the third world. In the course of 30 years, Vancouver has changed from an overwhelmingly British and, to a lesser extent, European, Italian, Greek city into a city that is almost 50% Oriental. Toronto, which was 1% visible minority in 1961, about 5 years ago, according to the New York Times, became 50% visible minority. Now, one of the most important things that can happen to a country, to a town, or even to a household is a change of the people. What father would, for instance, invite 7 complete strangers to take up residence in the basement, share the family meals, perhaps even share the family washrooms, and so on? Well, it's hard to imagine outside of an emergency any responsible father or mother would do such a thing. But our politicians decided that they would change the makeup of this country, slowly replace and eventually overwhelm the people that built this country with the culture that built it. Now, they take the view of multiculturalism, that all cultures are the same. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you are, your culture is every bit as good as ours. Well, our country wasn't built by just any culture. It was built by European culture. For instance, they may not like this, the politically correct may hate this, but we are a Christian country. It's right there in the flag, the Christian cross. One of the things that attracts so many people to Canada is our Medicare, our social safety net. Where did that come from? It didn't come from Mongolia. It didn't come from Afghanistan. It came from the Christian morality of the founding settler people who felt they were their brother's keepers. Our legal system. This didn't come from Niger in Africa. It didn't come from the Philippines. Our legal system is largely British common law, with a strong tradition of protecting the rights of the individual. It didn't come from just anywhere. Our political system, imperfect as it is largely a system that came from Great Britain, the parliamentary system. So the founding settler people of our country had a particular culture, and this culture was what made this country attractive. The immigration policy of the present government, whether it's liberal or conservative, is to replace the founding settler people. And you may say, oh, yeah, but that's way in the future. I don't live in Toronto or Vancouver. No. Statistics Canada indicated to me 5 years ago that with the present low birth rate and the present immigration numbers, the European founding settler people of this country will be a minority before 2050. So if you don't like that, you've got to get politically active, or this country will in no way, shape, or form resemble the country you grew up in. It's the goal of the politicians to change us. We have the highest per capita immigration intake in the world. We are bringing in about 265,000 people a year. That's a city of over 1 million every 4 years. They are changing our country. Do you like it? You think it's better than it was a few years ago? I'll give you a couple of other reasons that we ought to be pretty cynical about this. Sure, we're a big country, but nobody goes to live up in the Northwest Territories. Nobody goes up to none of it for several good reasons. There aren't any jobs. There's no way to really sustain life. They all flood to the greater metropolitan Toronto area, the Golden Horseshoe, or the lower mainland of British Columbia, or to a lesser extent, Calgary, Montreal, and Edmonton. We are paving over the best farmland in our country to accommodate the hordes of newcomers. Try to drive on a road around Toronto or Vancouver recently. It's non-stop gridlock, nearly 24 hours a day. What's the reason? Ask the leftists, ask the people planners. Maybe everybody should have a bicycle. Yeah, right. Is that really much of an alternative? It's immigration, stupid. It's immigration. We packed more and more people into these areas. The infrastructure remains the same that it was 35 years ago. It doesn't take a genius to see where that's going to go. Traffic gridlock. You like that? You like the overcrowding? You like the fact that we're paving over some of our most precious farmland? These are all important consequences of a foolish immigration policy. Oh yes, and the last lie that you'll be told, we need these people to work to replace our aging population. How is it then that even in relatively good times like now, we have an unemployment rate of over 6.1%? There just aren't the jobs. And the jobs that might be there in 20 years' time, we don't need to bring somebody here today to do a job that might or might not be there in 20 years' time. Would you hire a kid to shovel your driveway in the middle of June because you might need his services in December? Well, of course you wouldn't. If you need his services in December, you go and find the kid. You don't bring him 6 months in advance. This is one of the foolish bill of goods that we've been sold as a people. Oh yes, but we need people in Alberta. The government out there says that. Greedy big business says that. But is it true? Labor shortage in Alberta. How is it then that there are 10,000 unemployed skilled tradesmen in the province of Alberta? There isn't a labor shortage. There may be a cheap labor shortage. Greedy businesses want to get people to work for as little money as possible. Well, you can't support yourself on the minimum wage in Canada today, nor on the minimum wage plus $2. If you'd like to read more about this, send me an email at paul@paulfromm.com, and I'll send you a copy of the Canadian Immigration Hotline. It's the best report on immigration in Canada today. Or if you'd like to get a copy through the mail, just write to Hotline, P.O. Box 332, Rexdale, Ontario, M9W5L3. This is Paul Fromm, the Midnight Man. You do catch me every night at midnight on Stormfront Radio.